Hello everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to my live. Thanks for joining me. I'm happy to see everybody. I wasn't here last week and I missed y'all. I missed stamping, but happy to be doing it again. So I have a fun class tonight. I hope y'all like it. I don't have too much to say. The 4th of July in Chicago was really nice. The weather was good. We did a lot of stuff and of course enjoyed family, got to see lots of family, got to spend time with the grandbabies, which is super fun, and the kids too. So hi Ross, how are you? So everything's good. Got back Sunday night, like pretty much 1 in the morning, and went to work, and here we are. It's Tuesday. It's a beautiful sunny day here in San Antonio. Not quite as hot as it usually is. Usually we're about 95. I think it was only like 87 when I was driving home from work today. All right, so I'm going to turn the camera around and get started so we can start making some cards right away. All right, thanks you guys. All right, so I got a new phone on Sunday, so bear with me. It's the same, it's basically the same phone that I had before, but I think the zoom feature actually works now, so I'm going to try zooming in a bit, and that might be just good to do our cards. Hold on, let me just adjust this a little bit. So you don't have to see most of the junk all over my desk, right? And I think, hopefully you can see things a little better. So let's try that and see how it goes. Okay. Hi, Kelly. All right, you guys, let me just start by telling you guys there is a sale starting tomorrow for 3 days. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 20% off all two-tone cardstock. Have you guys used two-tone cardstock yet? I have not played with it, but I pulled some out because you can usually find it in the scrapbooking kits. So I pulled this one out of last year's Halloween Memories. You can still get this scrapbooking kit because, of course, I love those types of colors. So here's just a couple of pieces to show you. So, you have the darker color on one side and then the lighter version, now I'm really zoomed in, of it on the other side. So this is pumpkin pie, what both sides look like, dark and light. And this looks like some sort of gray, maybe basic gray, light and dark. And then it looks like we've got some Granny Apple. Love the Halloween colors. Already thinking about Halloween. Did you guys see that new Halloween kit? Oh my goodness, I will show that to you. It is phenomenal. I ordered 2 so far. I'm like, so cute. All right, here is the gorgeous grape in the light and dark. So something to think about. Obviously the 12 by 12 is perfect for scrapbooking, but the two-tone, I can see a lot of benefits to it to get your 2 shades of the same color. And then this is white core cardstock, so when you rip it, it's going to have a white core inside. It's not all the way through like our regular cardstock. So think about it. That's fun. I thought the 2 kits that came out July 1st are really spectacular. The first one is the Birthday Fancy Kit. So cute with all these little cakes and cake stands. That one's $25. Can't wait to play with that. And then this other one, look at this one, Sweet and Spooky Kit with these little gift bags and little tags and ties. I am in love. This one's $21. That's so inexpensive. I mean, super, super cute. I can't wait to make these projects. All right, hi Jolene. Okay, you guys, let's get to tonight's project. So we're going to be making 4 projects tonight. I have, we're going to be using the Jar of Joy stamp set with the punch that goes with the Sweet Jar stamp set, okay? So let me just show you really quick. This is the Jar of Joy stamp set, and this is a new online exclusive. And then we have this Sweet Jar. This is the original bundle, right? So we've got the Sweet Jar stamp set with the punch that cuts out the little jar. So we're going to use the punch with this set tonight, okay? All right, so these are the cards we're going to make. We're going to do this Wishing You the Sweetest Christmas. I think this little gingerbread stamp is so cute. So we're going to make that card. I don't have to hold everything super up close now that I'm zoomed in, right? These little snowmen, so sending a jar full of cheer. And then our third card is May Your Hearts Be Filled with Joy, with the little ornaments inside. So we're just going to do this one. And then we're just going to make a little jar. I got a little jar with some candy. We're just going to decorate the top of this jar. So I have this like standing up a little bit. So when it sits, it's kind of, you can just see it without having to look totally on top of it. So if you get the kit this week, I will include one of these jars in the kit so you can make it. I'm not going to include the candy. Put your favorite Christmas candy in there when you can get it. All right, so I want to mention before we make the cards that, you know, the next 2 weeks, I'm not going to be live on Facebook the next 2 Tuesdays. But the week we come back, I'm going to be using the other stamp set, the sweet jar, and we're going to make these cards. So this is the other stamp set, and we've got these little cookies. We've got a heart card. We'll make a cute little shamrock rainbow card, and then a birthday card with the candles. So that'll be the one when we come up. Hi, Lisa. All right, so just to give you a little heads up of what we're going to do next time. Okay, so the first card we're going to do is the little gingerbread one. In addition to the stamp set and the punch, we're also going to go back to Hearts of Elegance dies. And I use this heart right here with the little stitching inside for this card. Just because I want a little heart at Christmas is good, right? Of course, the Stylish Shapes dies, because those are just fun all the time. And then I'm also using, to put the sentiment, one of these Nested Essentials dies. Okay, here's what the kit looks like. The first card, we've got all our little pieces. Okay, so this is just going to be a normal fold card, and it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then we're just going to fold this in half, and then we're going to start working off of our card base here. I didn't do anything super fancy. All I did was just add a little bit of DSP on the inside. So, you guys know what this DSP is, right? Do you guys recognize this DSP? This is from, and it's still available, Take a Bow, or Take a Bow. I think it's Take a Bow Designer Series paper, still available. I liked this Christmas. It's hard to find Christmas color like Christmas DSP right now because there's not that much of it to use this set with. But I love the small patterns, all the fun small patterns. This was always one of my favorite ones. So really cute. I would say if you don't have this paper, it's a good one to have for Christmas because there's so many things you can do with it. Little peppermints. It's just a great paper. I've used the heck out of it. All right. Oh, thanks, Lisa. My nails. I know. Now that 4th of July is past, I'm like, I need to get them off. I need to go get my nails done because it just doesn't go with all the other clothes I'm wearing now that I'm not wearing red, white, and blue all the time. Okay, so of that DSP, we're going to use this striped one, and that is 5 by 4 1/4. And we'll just put this down on our card front. Yeah, Roz, this DSP for Christmas is great. I love it. Okay, and then I have a little bit, this is 3/4 by 4 inches. I'm going to put it on this 5 1/4 by 4 piece of basic white that'll go on the inside of our card. Now, of course, you can put Merry Christmas or whatever sentiment you want on the inside. Sometimes I like to wait and see who I'm actually sending the card to put the appropriate inside comment on. You know, I feel like it'd be different if it was for my husband. It might be a little more mushy than something I would send to a friend, right? So sometimes I like to wait. All right, other pieces, and these pieces right here, these 4 pieces will come die cut for you already in the kit. I'm really high this week. Sorry, I got to bring everything back down. Okay, so these are from the Stylish Shapes dies. This is Circle and Real Red. Another piece of the DSP, which is just going to go on top of that. All right, doing a little building here. We've got our heart that's going to go here. We're going to stamp on our sentiment. And then I have these 2 pieces right here, which is what we're going to stamp and punch. All right, so let's get out our jar. I'm starting with the Memento Black, and this is the white empty stamp pad that I put my Memento Black ink in. So let's get our jar out. Here is our jar stamp. And we're just going to stamp right in the middle of this. Okay, next I'm going to get pecan pie to do the gingerbread. So there's 2 pieces to the gingerbread stamp. We have this one right here, and then this one's going to do like the outline in red. So let me ink up the pecan pie and put it right where we want it in our jar. And I feel like it barely fits in the jar. Make sure I get a good image on that. Good. Now let's get out our real red. This one I feel like is just a little bit trickier to line up. As a matter of fact, I gotta see which way does it go. It goes this way. Okay, so a couple key things. You can line up the little bow tie and the buttons and like the little circle. I'm gonna move it down. Can you guys still see it? Because I need to kind of get over it to see how to line this up. So I'm gonna take my time and not rush. And I think that came out pretty good. You guys can kind of see how that came out, right? Okay, so as long as I've got the red, let's do our sentiment on here. And I went with wishing you the sweetest Christmas in real red. All right, this one's an easy assembly card. Okay, so let's pop some things up. Let me get out some dimensionals. Now, first we need to get our punch. Now, as you can see, I used a very small piece of cardstock, so I'm going to have a little bit of trouble maneuvering it in here to get it in exactly the right spot because I don't really have much to hold on to. So I'm just going to take, sorry, I was just laughing. Hi, Cheryl. I was just laughing at one of the comments. Okay. I think after these next 2 weeks, I think I'm going to be home for a while. No more. I'm going to be home because you know what? There's so many stamp sets and things I'm dying to craft with. Like, there's so many things. Okay, so I just added a little piece of Post-it tape. You could use a Post-it note just to kind of hold it where you want it to be. And so I've punched that. Let me save my piece of Post-it tape for another card here. Now the silver foil cardstock, I'm just going to punch right here and do a lid. So we've got the lid for that. Okay, back to putting dimensionals on. All right, so pretty much, well, I guess just a little bit lower. I don't want it too high, but I want to have room for the other elements underneath. So I put it just about like that. Let's pop up our jar. Looks like I have red somewhere on my fingers already because it's on my dimensionals. Let me just swipe off my fingers. Yep. Okay. So did y'all have a nice holiday? God, the weather was just different all over the country. In Kerrville, which is about 45 minutes from us, they had that horrible flooding. I mean, just heart-wrenching. Just what a tragedy. Just breaking everybody's hearts. It's just horrible what happened in Kerrville on the Guadalupe River. But I hope y'all had good weather and enjoyed the holiday. Okay, so I kind of put that off to the side. That's the top of our jar. I'm going to just put, since I popped this up, I need to put some dimensionals over here. And we'll just kind of tuck that right here. I don't know what happened to my W there. It looks a little funky, right? And then we'll do the same thing with the heart. I still have red ink all over the place here. And we'll put that right about here. Okay, so pretty easy. Let me add one more. That one came off. Pretty simple card. Let's add a little bit of embellishment. We're going to use some of this silver ribbon, which is part of the silver and gold trim combo pack. I used a ton of the gold ribbon, and I have all these spools of silver, so yay for getting to finally use the silver ribbon. All right, let me try and straighten this out a little because I like my bows to not be too wonky. I don't want too big of a bow here. I don't know, this is not a good bow. Hold on, let's try that again. So I enjoyed making some cards with Emmeline. She, you know, she knows I make cards. She watched my videos when she was a little baby-ish, and so she likes to be in my craft room. She likes to make cards, so I always bring kits or something with when I go to Chicago so we can craft, and she just loves making cards and crafting with me, so that's super fun. As a matter of fact, when we were driving to the airport on Sunday, she was saying, "Grandma, can you bring things to make cards with in Hawaii?" So I'm thinking about that. I don't know if I'm going to have room in my suitcase, and when are we going to have time to make cards? But if I end up babysitting or something, then yes, that would be a good idea. So I have to think about, maybe I'll bring one of the new kits, right? And I can work on those. As a matter of fact, she loves Halloween. That's like one of her favorites. So maybe I'll bring one of the Halloween kits with. That would be fun. All right, glue dots. The kits, are you guys a fan of the kits? I think they're pretty awesome. We've had some really good ones. They're just so easy to pack and take places. It's just pretty great. So it looks like, you know, I have 2 layers of dimensionals. So this is, it's just a little bit, what would you say? Diagonal. So you can either put double dimensionals, or on this layer right here, don't even bother to put dimensionals. Okay. Finally, a bow on there. Now let's get out some of the druzy dots, because those are cool looking too. All right, so let's get some of these silver ones. The only thing about these is they're kind of bulky and a little bit rough. Like, they're not smooth at all. They're gorgeous. They're so pretty, but they are a little bit big. Okay, so there we go. Card number 1. Is this my first Christmas card of the year? It might be. I'm not sure. Anyway, there we go. All right, let's go on to the next one. So the next one we're going to do is this cute little snowman one. Oh, thanks for the hearts. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to add the perennial postage dies, just this big one right here. And here are pieces for this one. Okay, hold on, let me move up my chair. Stop sitting on my legs because they're falling asleep. This will be for stamping and punching. This one is going to open this way. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored to 4 1/4. We have some inside pieces, 5 1/4 by 4, which will go inside. I have let me show you what DSP. So this is Blueberry Bushel, and I use that. I'm really off tonight. I can't get used to the new, I had my phone angled differently, so everything was working up high before, and now that it's straight on, I have to work lower again, so I'm trying. Okay, so just with the large die, so that's going to be our first layer. Then this layer, this paper right here is the beautiful Bokeh DSP, and I just thought it would be pretty in the background because it kind of looks like snow falling a little bit, right? I mean, really big snowflakes, but that is going to be our background. All right, so let's do that. And we're going to pop that whole thing up, but let's finish building on it first. So we just want kind of not too fat of a border around there. Okay, did I tell you what size this was? I don't think I did. This is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. All right, so that's going to be our layer here. Now for the inside, I have another piece of Blueberry Bushel, and this one is 5 1/4 by 1, and this is 5 1/4 by 3/4 of the DSP. And so we're just putting that at the bottom. Trying to get a little bit more of the red ink off of my fingers. See if that's just a tiny, tiny little bit. So I started making these cards first because I wanted to use this new stamp set. And, you know, of course, I hadn't used the other stamp set yet. So once I started using the other stamp set, gosh, I really like that one too. All right, hold on. Got a little bit of a mess going here. I want to get this off because it's sticking to everything. Okay, so let's do our stamping. So this time we're going to do 2 jars. So let me get out my Memento again. We want 2 snowman jars. Okay, we're going to also, in the Memento, take this little snowman and stamp him inside the jar. I don't know why I'm getting this hitting. I guess I got it too inky, but that's easy to fix. All right, that's it for the basic black. Now I'm going to take some StazOn because I want to stamp on my silver, and I'm going to do 2 of these. And this is just the lid. Whoa, sorry. This is just the lid. I want to do it in StazOn so it dries nicely on our silver. And you have to be careful when you're stamping because it can be a little bit slippery. So you don't want it to slide around. You just kind of want to go straight up and down. Wow, that was terrible. Do I have room to put another one? I think so. All right, we'll let that dry for a minute. Okay, so let's color our little snowman guys. First of all, let me just take a second and see if I can get some of this other. I don't think it's going to show much, but I do have a little bit of black that I want to get rid of. I'm using a sand eraser just to kind of erase some of these little marks that I really don't want on here. And it's just taking a little bit of the paper layer off. Sometimes you have to work it for a minute, but if you work it long enough, it does come off. I don't need to get it all off because it's going to be covered with some stamping. Okay, next, Balmy Blue. we're going to take some balmy blue and first do a little scarf for our snowman and the brim of the hat. So we have this little stamp right here, which is so cute. Let's dress this little guy up and see if I can line this up correctly. All right, now we're going to do some snowflakes next to it. So you have this little stamp right here with these little dots. I'm going to do those in blue too. So I'm going to go straight down on that. Then I'm going to flip it over the other way. And put the other one right here. And we'll do that twice. I dropped my baby wipe on the floor. So it looks like there's some little snow in the jar too. Cute, right? All right. I seem to be having a little trouble stamping tonight. Maybe because I'm out of practice. I'm going to take a little bit of balmy blue and just do a little bit of outlining. So outline the snow. And then a little bit of the snowman. You could do one side, or you could do both. I'm doing all the way around the snowman. Just like that. Okay, there's our snowman. Let's do our punching. Got a little room to work with this time because I didn't stamp it close enough to the bottom because our piece of cardstock is big enough. I hate wasting cardstock though, right? Especially because everything keeps going up in price. Now I got a notice saying that, I can't remember the exact date, but postal rates are going up again. I'm like, y'all are killing me with these postal rates. I mail a lot of stuff, well, obviously for Stampin' Up, but gifts for family too. Okay, now let's punch out. I forget, I don't use punches that often, so I forget how easy and convenient they are. I mean, dies are great. You get such great detail on the dies, but I'm going to use my little trick again. But this is so easy. I don't even have to get out of my chair and go across the room to die cut. Okay, there's our jar lids. All right, now I'm going to put those straight on this time. So let me just get a little bit of liquid glue going here. Anybody have anything exciting going on this week? Anything fun? Anybody starting a vacation soon? Or just hanging out, having a little free time with the summer weather? That doesn't look straight. Okay, there's one. Looks cute with the outline, right? I like it. So many different choices with these sets, different things that you can do. Okay, the last thing that we need to stamp is the sentiment. So I have this piece of basic white, and I feel like this one's just a little bit skinny, but this little basic white is just a 1/2 inch by 4 inches. And I'm going to use the blueberry bushel to do Sending a Jar Full of Cheer. Have you guys been working on projects? What kind of sets are you using? Just curious what everybody's been crafting lately. There's just so much to choose from right now that I just can't get to it all. Okay, let's put this together. All right, let's start with the sentiment because I'm going to put that near the bottom. I'm just going to take a little adhesive and then take my piece. This is another piece of blueberry bushel. And this one is Do I not have that one on here? Nope. Hold on. Let me measure it real quick. It is 5 1/4 by, hold on, I need a different ruler that has more things on it. Ah, Jolene, okay. Being productive. Good for you. That's awesome. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's well, otherwise known as 3/4, right? Is that 3/4? No. It's 1, 2. It's 3/8. 3/8 of an inch by 5 1/4. And I just kind of want to put that on here, and then I'm going to trim up the ends because I don't want it to stick out that far. So just whatever length you think is good. All right, and then let's put that down flat on our paper. I need to purge my craft room. That's what I need to do. Holy cow. I did, not last weekend because I was gone, the weekend before. I went through finally and went through my ribbon, went through my embellishments, got rid of all the things that are no longer current. Well, of course I saved them, but got them out of where I'm working because you don't want to use stuff that's expired that people can't get. So I did get some organization accomplished, but need so much more. Okay, so we're just going to tilt these jars a little bit on here. This one this way, and this one the other way. Good. Let's take some more of that silver ribbon, and we're going to tie a bow going all the way across. Making it a little bit tight because I know it'll flatten out once I get my bow tied. I'm going to do that again because it's not quite tight enough. And if I need a third hand, I'm going to use my reverse tweezers to hold that for me for a minute to keep it tight. Okay. Do you guys like that little farm one with the tractor? Oh my goodness, that's so cute. I can't wait to use that one. All right, let's pop this up onto our card front. Then we'll do a little embellishing. And then I think we're gonna be done with this one. Oh, hold on, I am behind in the comments. Hold on a second. Okay. Oh, Renee, I did not see the question about receiving emails. Hold on. So you're not receiving my emails? You're not the only one. Someone else isn't receiving them either. So I don't know what is up with that. That's crazy. Oh, you sent me an email, right? Did you send me an email, Renee? Oh, wait, or you sent me a message. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. It's crazy. I don't know. Sometimes you have to whitelist things if you're like your email program is blocking things. I don't know, but that's no good. But what I can do is, if you know, email me if you don't get it, and I can try either forwarding from the email that you send me, or I can just send it to my personal email and then send you personal email, like forward it from my personal email and see if that goes through. But you can also check to see, I'm just using basic rhinestone jewels to see if it's being blocked or needs to be whitelisted. I have to do that a lot at work for stuff, is whitelist stuff, because it goes into like a quarantine for me. Okay. Sorry. Oh, okay. You said it in there, Renee. Okay. All right, you guys, here is our little snowman card. All done. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Yeah, I don't know how to solve that email problem, to be honest. All right, this one is a little, I don't know what you call this card, to be honest. I do not know, but lots of pieces. We're starting with real red, and this is 8.5, 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. So, I may try sending you guys an email to check and see if you get my email tomorrow, because they you know, they come out tomorrow. So anyway, I'm just folding it backwards on itself, so it's going to open like this. Sorry, still trying to get used to the close camera. All right, so that's going to be the front of our card. All right, so more of that beautiful DSP from Take a Bow. So I've got 5 1/4 by 4 that's going to go on the inside here. I wonder how many other people aren't getting my emails. I mean, what the heck, right? What the heck? All right, now this one is 1 7/8 by 5 1/4, same pattern. So now we have our little base to work off of. Now, I did some die cutting with Stylish Shapes dies again, and I have from this silver foil cardstock. This is going to go right here on the front. Then we're going to put a Stylish Shape real red circle here. This is going to go from the inside. This is a Stylish Shape square that's going to go to write our greeting on the inside. We have this Stylish Shape banner, which we're going to stamp on. And then I have a little scrap of white that we're going to stamp on again. So I thought it'd be pretty, since we're kind of using silver and red here, to heat emboss the jar in silver. Let me just get this cleaned off. I get my Versamark out. All right, I'm going to leave a little bit of room at the top because I also want to Versamark the lid. I'm going to clean that off too. I do not want black ink in my Versamark. I'm trying to keep it clean. Okay, I know you can't see that too well on camera, but it's there. And we'll see it once we get our silver emboss powder out. Get back those tweezers that I'm going to need. Don't ask me why I like to do it twice. Not necessary. It's just a thing. All right, you can see that's ready to be heat embossed. There we go. Can you guys kind of see how pretty that looks? Nice and shiny and pretty. Okay, now for stamping, I want to stamp the ornaments in here, and I'm going to do them in real red. A little bit of powder. Da, da, da. Cute. All right, my paper's just a little bit warped from the embossing. Ugh, I hope I got that right because I feel like my thumb was underneath. Nope, it looks good. So I tried a couple other things with this. So just to show you, first I embossed it in silver too. I don't know why this, oh, because I tore the lid off. And then I colored in, so you could do that too if you wanted to. I don't know if you can get a good glimpse of that. That's with embossing the ornaments and then just using a marker to color them in red. And here's one that I embossed the ornaments and just colored them in different colors too. So, you know, if that's something that you wanted to do, you could just substitute that and get a little bit different look on that. Okay. You know, up to you. Choices, right? Lots of choices. All right, let's punch these out. I'm so used to using dies that I had pre-done all these, not realizing, oh, I can just punch them on camera. It's not a big deal. So now I'll have to make more cards since I've already got some of these done. You can't have too many Christmas cards, right? Okay. Can you see what almost happened there? I didn't have this lined up right. And I almost messed up by punching when both pieces weren't lined up. Now I'm going to glue this one straight on also. All right, there's our jar. All right, so we've got that ready. Okay, let's start layering. Let's get out some dimensionals. I hate when I get powder all over. I feel like I'm going kind of slow tonight. I'm tired, y'all. It's, I don't know, traveling wears on you, I feel like. And plus, you know, when you're gone, you're just activity after activity, you know, you don't rest. You just play hard. All right. Lining this up so our square is diagonal and turns into a diamond. All right, this is going to go here, and I can put it right on the fold, corner to corner. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on this half. And line it up. Like right about there. Okay, so for the inside, this one you can see is a little bit smaller. You could do it the same size if you needed more room to write. But I'm going to add some adhesive here. And then I'm going to line it up here where I want it to be, which is right about here. And you can see I'm lining up the edges and the corners again and leaving the border, an even border around. And I'm just going to close it on there and press it down. Okay, so now when it does that, we're good, right? Okay, time for another bow. Wish me luck. This ribbon's really pretty, but I feel like sometimes it's hard to work with the skinnier ribbons. They're not as, I don't know, adjustable, would you say? I feel like I have to manipulate them a little bit more. All right. So Easton's getting older now. You know, he's, Easton is just over a year and a half, right? But he is fun. He's full of personality. He's very cute. He likes to clean. He likes to help with the dogs. They're like, the dogs are his best friends. He's just in love with the dogs. And helps feed them, gives them treats, lets them outside. Like, he just loves those dogs. So he's pretty cute. It's pretty fun spending time with him. Okay, bow on the lid. Let's get some more druzy dots. Oops, that's the messy packet. Let's not use that one. Let's use this one. Just 2 sizes on this dot. And we'll use another big one at the bottom so we have lots of glitter. Come on, get up. Okay, now what's missing? Our sentiment. Real red, and this one says, may your heart be filled with joy. And okay, so you can see it's a long, skinny stamp. So you can either just line it up to do half at a time, or if you want to be really sure, let's tape it off. All right, so be filled with joy is going to go here. So I just want to make sure I have it nice and clean. So we're just going to do May Your Heart first. Come on. May Your Heart. Let's wash that off. So yeah, the one dog, Maui, you know, they got it Christmas last year. Well, he's still a puppy and he is full of mischief. I might even say he's naughty. But he's still, you know, he needs training, that's all. A little bit of training. Okay. Okay, same thing on this side, and we're doing Be Filled with Joy. Okay, that came out pretty good except for this part right here. So I'll let that dry and rub it off. Why am I doing that tonight? So messy. All right, guess I got to keep this eraser close by, huh? You get off of there. And boy, this red is not, I feel like my red is not drying. Maybe it's super humid in Texas right now, but you would think in the house it wouldn't be that humid. I might have to just restamp this if I keep, everywhere I touch, it's either on my fingers or it's not dry on the thing. Maybe I got it from the piece of tape. Anyway, almost done. All right. Put some dimensionals on the bottom. Tape on the top. Little tape runner. Should have put that on first. All right, there we go. All right, so the other thing I added was just, I felt like the jar seemed just a little bit empty here. So I did pull out some of the peppermints. You guys still have these from last year. Super cute, loved them last year, love them this year. I'm glad they carried over because they're just adorable. So let's just add a couple peppermints in the jar too. I guess I could do a small, a medium, and a large. Got lots of room right here. And we'll put a small one there. And then we can put the medium one right about there. Okay, there we go. That's card number 3. All finished. Well, I've got some Christmas cards. There you go. Oh, Roz, your youngest grandchild's a little over 2. They're fun, aren't they? It's just a cute age. Don't you just want to like freeze the kids at certain ages and just keep them there forever? Just so cute, so much fun. And this was like the first year that, you know, he's obviously last year he was a baby. This year he appreciated the parade. He appreciated the fireworks. He could pay attention and kind of see what was going on with everything. So it's fun to watch them see those things for the first time and all that good stuff. Okay, so there's not much to this, right? We have one of these jars. I got these on Amazon. They're just really cute. I put some little Christmas trees in here. And not going to do too much to decorate it, so you could make a ton of these really quick, right? But we have our little piece for stamping. This little piece right here, this basic white piece right here, is 2 3/4 by 1 inch. And then I'm just going to fold it in half just to kind of make our jar stick up a little bit. Okay. Silver, the only thing we're going to do with the silver, thank you very much, you guys, about the card. Just punch a lid out of the silver. We've got that right there. Okay. I cut a punch. This punch is 2 3/8, but I'm not sure we make that one anymore. I didn't see it when I was doing my PDF, but you could also do, I know we still have the 2-inch one, so you could also do that and use a 2-inch. It's not going to make that big of a difference on here. Or use one of the Stylish Shapes dies for the lid. If you're getting the kit, I've already pre-punched it for you, so it'll come in your kit just like this. All right. So let's do our last jar, and this time we're doing the words in the jar. So Memento Black for the jar itself. And then Wishing You the Sweetest Christmas inside with Real Red. All right, look, something's wrong with my red. I wonder if there's something in my stamp. Oh, I think there's a little fuzzy. Rude. Let's do it again because we want it to be perfect. I've got a bigger scrap this time just sitting in my drawer. So let's just do it again. There we go. All right, my hands are a disaster again. Have you guys ever used this? This is from Ranger. I get on Amazon the stamp cleaner. Sometimes I just re-wet my baby wipes with it. But it's bubble gum scented, and oh my gosh, it smells amazing. It just smells so good. Okay, let's punch that out. Oh, wow. Renee, you are a grandma at 38. That's awesome. I'm trying to think how old my parents were. I was 22. They were like in their early 40s, 42. Okay. There we go. We've got this. We've got this. Let's glue it on. Look how messy my work surface is. I am just messy. If you wanted to stamp the jar lid on this one, you could too. But I thought for decoration, I would just add some little rhinestones to it. So I just got some basic rhinestone jewels, and I just colored them like I like to do. And I did them in shaded spruce. Let me get my light shaded spruce, huh? I'm surprised I didn't use dark. Let me see what I did here. I like dark. Let's use the dark. I think the dark's better. It looks more green because we don't have a garden green. Okay, so let's pick up some of these. Start in the middle. See if we can somewhat evenly space these. All right, let's just add a little bit of adhesive on here and put it down like this, right in the middle, and then put some more adhesive and just put our little, I kind of want this bottom of the jar near the bottom of the, so when it folds up, it's not, you know, it just helps it for nice placement. So you can kind of see how that looks like that. All right, let's just put it on our jar. Hold on one second. I've got my jars across the room. I knew I was going to forget to do that. Super easy. You can make a ton of these really fast, right? And fill them with little candies or whatever you would like. And we're going to tie. So if you guys would like to get the kit with all this stuff pre-cut out and a little jar or two in the mail, just place an order of $50 or more by Saturday. Or if you want to purchase it, it can just be purchased for $22, but I'll send it to you for free if you place an order. So it's just a nice little thank you for placing an order. And I personally think it's nice to get card kits so you don't have to do all that cutting yourself, right? It just makes it faster and easier. And again, it's free if you place an order. So, and how do you order it? You just email me. If you're on my email list, the email will hopefully come tomorrow. And you can just reply to the email and say, hey, I want the kit. Or if you just place an order and name me as your demonstrator, then I will see that and automatically send the kit to you. I'll know from your ordering that you need a kit. So, and thank you guys for your business. I just really appreciate it a lot. It makes it worthwhile doing the videos. Plus, I love spending time with you guys. It's super fun on a Tuesday to hang out with y'all. So thank you for watching and spending time with me. Okay, that is it. That is our last little project. Let's bring in our projects and take a look again. Oh, okay, Roz, it's stuff from Ranger. It's water-based stamp cleaner. bubblegum scented. It's from Ranger, and I use it for cleaning my stamps. If I use the Stampin' Up, you know, the pad that has the, you know, this Stampin' Up stamp cleaner right here that has the like fuzzy inside, I use it on that for cleaning my stamps when I don't want to use my chamois. And sometimes I need a little bit deeper clean on some of my stamps, so sometimes I use it for that. Okay, so here are our cards for tonight. Thanks again for watching. Again, I will not be here for the next 2 Tuesdays, which seems crazy. I'm really going to forget how to stamp not being here for 2 Tuesdays. But then after that, I should have a long run of being home and not going anywhere. I think I will be done traveling for the summer for sure, and that'll be good. When I come back in 2 weeks, again, we're going to continue with the jars, and we'll do these 4 cards here. These are more all occasion. We've got our little hearts. I love the little rainbow with shamrocks, and then we'll do this cute little birthday card. So I hope to see you in a couple weeks. In the meantime, yes, Lisa, 20% off that 2-tone cardstock. It's exciting, right? I have to start using that now and play with it. I'm excited about that. All right, anything else? If you guys want the project and measurement sheet and you're on my email list, it will come in the email tomorrow. If you don't get it, just email me. I'll be happy to send you the sheet. You don't have to be on my email list to get it. And then don't forget the virtual album retreat is coming up if you like to scrapbook. And this paper pumpkin looks super cute this month. You can order this by July 10th, so 2 more days to order this month's paper pumpkin. And don't forget about the add-on. These look like really cute little add-on dies to go with the paper pumpkin. All right, you guys, I'll see you in a couple. Thanks for watching. Have fun. Stay safe. All right, bye, everybody.